Fanimated, an animation fan podcast where we get a chance to geek out about our favorite animated media. And I have my two Disney ladies here with me to talk about our favorite Disney songs, because there are so many. But before that, just a quick reminder that Fanimated is retiring. You will be able to find our entire episode archive as well as any new upcoming content on the Fanimated YouTube channel. Our final podcast episode will release on September 26, 2023. Fanimated will no longer be available on your podcasting platform of choice after December 31st of 2023. So again, subscribe to the Fanimated YouTube channel for all your animation fan needs. More information about this change can be found on the recent What You're Watching number 32 episode. So thank you for your support of the show for the past 5 years. And as our final episode with the Disney ladies, we are going to just do a fun deep dive into all of our favorite Disney music. So this will be a Disney song draft. And what that means is we have all come prepared with a list of all of our favorite music from Disney animated feature films. And they could be music that is in the background of a song. It could be a song a character sings, but it has to have words included. So it's not just the score of the music. Obviously the scores are all fantastic too. But that was kind of the criteria for the songs we could choose. We could not choose from animated television shows that Disney has done, which really made me sad.
Sorry, Kelly.
But we had to limit it somehow. And what we'll be doing is each choosing one by one a song that we want to add to our list. And once a song is chosen, we cannot choose it again. So we're all looking at each other like, might end up with some of our second favorites if all of our favorites are stolen. And we are going to roll the dice and see who goes first, and then we'll just snake back and forth. And we'll just talk about all this fantastic music. Disney is just known for the movie musical, and I'm really excited to deep dive into all of this. And, you know, before we even roll the dice, I want to know, like, in a brief description, when I gave you this task, what's your, how did you enter this, I'm trying to decide how to say, how did you decide how to choose, if that's the right question to ask? Like, what was your mindset going into, how do I choose out of so much amazing music? How were you going into this? What mindset did you have?
Well, because I am a musical theater nerd, I chose songs. I kind of tried to like break types of songs down and organize them as like almost in a way a narrative would be structured. Mm-hmm. So you have like, you know, you have your opening and you have your I want, and you have, you know, I kind of tried to like pick from all of these like different like type of character song. Is it like a villain song? Is it a sidekick song? I kind of tried to be strategic in how I set it up, as if I was like creating an actual playlist of music.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so they're all like more cohesive. I did not do that.
Me neither.
What did you do, Laura?
I picked the songs that I like.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for me, it was, I tried to make a list of things that came to mind first, because to me, those are the songs that I remember and I think of, and then I tried to pull ones away that were either like newer or I like it right now. Like, what are the songs from, you know, I got a lot of nostalgia on my list. Things that I liked as a child, still love as an adult. There's a few on there that are, you know, I saw the movie when I was technically an adult and they have stuck with me, but I think it was just more those songs. Knowing this was our last episode, we've gotten like deep dive and technical. I'm like, these are just the songs I like from movies I like. Yes. That was what I decided to do. It was like,
I love that.
These are my favorites and I don't need a reason.
You don't need a reason. I like that. I did the same. I was just like choosing, in my mind it was more like, which songs have I listened to the most throughout my life? Like, which are the ones that, like, I go back to this one. I've listened to this one on repeat when I need it. Like, what are those songs? And so I'm really excited to see how ours overlap and what happens. Because there are so many different types of music in Disney films. So, without further ado, there's my dice. I will go ahead and give the first roll a 4. Laura?
5.
Oh no!
Can you get a 6?
Boo!
It's a 1. Okay. That means Laura will go first, and then me, and then Kate. So, and then Kate will choose 2, and we'll go back to me, and back to you to choose 2, etc. We'll snake it around the table. So, Laura, would you like to kick us off?
I would love to kick us off. So my favorite Disney song of all time is Sister Suffragette from Mary Poppins.
Oh my goodness. I love it.
I know that Mary Poppins is a live action film, but it has animated pieces.
That's fair.
I will let you have that.
Yes. I was like, does it count? I mean, it's mostly live action, but let's be real, when we were little, the chalk picture was always the best part anyway.
Yeah,
so
true.
so it's Sister Suffragette.
Aww.
I'm so happy that you have that on here.
My husband was trying to figure out what the first song on my list was, and when I told him, he was like, how did I not know that?
Yeah, if for anyone who knows Laura, this song you will hear quite frequently.
If you've listened to this podcast at all in my episodes, you probably are aware I'm a little bit of a feminist. I like to think that Winifred Banks and her Sister Suffragette song was a big part of that when I was little.
Yeah.
I think this is a catchy tune. It's a Sherman Brothers tune and performed by the amazing Glynis Johns from the 1964 film. It is catchy. It is strong. It is hilarious.
Oh, yes.
I think that it's just a perfect song. I sing it all the time. This sounds silly. Kate listened to me scream it on repeat the first time that we all went to vote together.
Oh, we walked up to the polling place, and her husband and I were trailing behind her, and she was singing Sister Suffragette, and we just looked at each other and we were like, Laura, yep. That's her.
I just love what it represents for the character. It's fun. It's smart. I think it just adds so much to the show. It's a song that is not in the stage version of the show.
Boo.
And I think the fact that they took that, both the song and that part of the character of Winifred Banks away, it completely guts the character.
Truly.
If you haven't listened to it in a while, go listen to it, ladies.
Yes.
There's just, and guys, but it's just a perfect song.
It is. And I love, too, that it's, like, right at the beginning of the film, it's, like, setting us up for this, this world, of their London, which is very different,
Yes. And I love that she, like, it sets her up. She is a wife and a mom and a suffragette, in the 60s. I think that was so kind of, people can think whatever they want about it. I thought that it was super interesting to see. She was kind of a working mom, right? She was going to her meetings all the time. That's why they had to have a nanny. But she loved her husband and was a supportive husband, and but still fought for women's rights. I just think that her, like, absolute hilarity of coming back from her meetings and being like, oh, they arrested all of us. It was great. It adds a sort of full circle moment for her and her husband's relationship, right? The song is tied in at the end when they put her suffragette tail on the kite, and they go out and fly the kite with the suffragette sash. It's just, I just love to imagine the Sherman Brothers sitting down to write this hilarious suffragette song, and then just the performance. Right?
Yeah.
Glynis's performance of
fantastic.
it is just
So good.
unbelievable. She was just like a force.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
It actually wasn't going to be there. She had auditioned for a different part. I think I think she auditioned for Mary Poppins and didn't get it, but they loved her so much that they're like, we should probably have a song for her. And they wrote that one.
I want to say that she had auditioned for Mary and then heard Julie Andrews sing and she was like, well, I obviously didn't get that.
Right.
Oh, no.
But they loved her so much, they're like, well, she needs to sing. So, and then they wrote Sister Suffragette for her. It's like, oh my God. So,
and I just want to add, because, I like that. I love that song so much. And I feel like they kind of easily could have turned her into a villain because she's sort of like an absentee mom in a way. Like her kids are, they need a nanny for a reason. And I feel like they really like put such a like positive spin on the character, and whether that was like the writing or the actress to kind of make those decisions. But I love that she's just like, no, I'm just a mom, but I also have my beliefs and things that I'm passionate about. And like for a movie in the 1960s, I feel like that's actually really like kind of, not the norm.
Yeah.
It's kind of progressive in that way. So
to be fair, they very much so trivialized the horrible plight of suffragettes in England, in that they were not happy women who came home. Most of them were well-to-do women like Winifred Banks, but they suffered horribly. And so that side of things, they did. It is not a good representation.
Yeah,
they
really
Disneyfied it. But to be fair, as with a lot of Disney things, it planted this little idea in my head, right?
Yes.
And then when I was older and ready to understand a little bit more of what was encompassed in the suffragette movement in England, or the suffrage movement, not suffragette.
Yeah. Excellent choice for your first. And of course, I would expect nothing else from you, Laura. So for me, I have at the very top of my list 2 I Want songs that are basically the same thing. But for the purposes of grabbing it before it's gone, I am taking Out There from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
dang it!
I knew you might be mad about it.
I am mad about it.
Oh man, Out There is one of those songs I would really love an excuse to sing. And written by Alan Menken and Stephen Schwartz. The whole soundtrack, this is definitely one of those films I was like, the whole soundtrack could be on my list. And Out There has always been one that I don't even know what to say. It is like the epitome of like the, want to be there, want to, I want to be free from this. And it just is so satisfying, and like the bills, and it's just so, it just makes me feel good.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you want to say anything about it?
Oh, it's just a really good song.
I
did a little research and I have some fun facts about most of the songs. I did not have a fun fact about this song.
That is okay.
But they really, you know what? I do have a fun fact. If you pause it when it's overlooking the village as he's singing about the weavers and the millers and their wives, you can see some Disney Easter eggs. I think you can see Goofy walking. You can see the magic carpet from Aladdin. I think you can see Belle maybe
At some point. I know
at some point. Belle. So that's the fun fact about the song. Hunchback is my favorite movie, and I am devastated that you got to it before I did.
Well, there we go.
Because it was my second song on my list.
All right. Well, what are your first 2, Kate?
Oh yeah, because I get to do 2 in a row. Okay, so my first. I'm going to nab this one before anyone else does. It's at the very top of my list. We got to go with Circle of Life.
Yes. Okay. Let me cross that off my list. It's fine.
It's like, can you think of a better Disney opening number ever? I don't think so. Some get close, but that's just the black screen and then the music starts and then you see the sun start to come over the horizon and it's just crazy
with the Zulu,
magical.
like,
Yeah.
It's truly magical.
So, written by Sir Elton John and lyrics by Tim Rice. Performed by Carmen Twilly. and Lebo M, who wrote a lot of the additional Zulu lyrics, and he wrote a lot of additional lyrics for the Broadway show as well, which is pretty cool. So that was kind of my first pick. We had to go strong with the strong opening number.
Yes.
My second pick, since you took my second pick, we're going to go a little, for lack of a better, we're going to go out there.
Out there.
But not really.
But not to out there.
My second one is going to be Stranger Like Me from Tarzan.
I love that choice. Oh my goodness. Yes.
It's kind of unique because it's not really like sung by the character. It's just sung by good old Phil Collins.
So good.
And yeah, I just think that it's a good, it's kind of an underrated sort of I Want song. And I really like it a lot. So I have it on my list. And like I said, it was written and performed by Phil Collins. And my fun fact about this one is not really a fact, but it's a quote. The co-director, Kevin Lima, said about Tarzan, "I did not want Tarzan to sing. I just couldn't see this half-naked man sitting on a tree branch breaking out into song. I thought it would be ridiculous."
He doesn't know much about being a woman, because women love half-naked men in trees singing at them.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Very much so man comment.
Yeah.
So Stranger Like Me is my second choice.
Yeah, Tarzan is an interesting one because there's like one song where characters sing, and that's it. So the rest is just in the background. So, but excellent choice.
Thank you.
Excellent choices, I should say. Both are great. For me, I'll go to my second I Want song that is saying the exact same thing, but in a different what the word I'm looking for? I don't
Context?
know. Different context. Go the Distance from Hercules. Gonna snag that one. Alan Menken and David Zippel. I will say my little fun fact about that is it was nominated for an Academy Award and Golden Globe, both of which ended up going to what song?
Wait, hold on.
From another film.
Is it from another Disney movie?
No.
It was 90.
Hold on. My heart will
My
go
heart will go
on.
on. So I was like, 1998. What movies came out in 1998?
Yeah. So My Heart Will Go On won over Go the Distance, which fair. Yeah, definitely fair. So Go the Distance. Love it for the same reasons as Out There, and I listened to it lots of times.
It's a beautiful song. I love it.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very. I dabbled with that one. It's not on my list, but it was. I didn't like Hercules as a movie. I thought it was pretty boring. I was also getting a little older, but I liked most of the music from Hercules.
Yes.
Yeah, it was
It's so
good.
good.
It was good.
All right, Laura. What do you
Okay,
got?
my number 2 is Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas.
Oh, no! Okay. Of
It's
course.
another Menken and Schwartz performed by Judy Kuhn.
That was my next one, Laura. Oh.
In Pocahontas. So Pocahontas is my favorite Disney film. It was my favorite when I was little. It came out the summer before I started kindergarten, 1995, and I wanted to be Pocahontas. I loved Pocahontas. I loved her entire story. I loved that movie. I loved that song. I have sung that song a million times. It's just, it's so beautiful. And the animation that goes along with it is so beautiful and just has a great message. And it's just really a great song. I don't know what else to say about it.
It is. It's amazing. The whole soundtrack is great.
One of my favorite other podcasts, whenever they talk about Judy Kuhn, they always refer to her as Queen Judy Kuhn, long may she reign. So,
True.
there you go.
Oh, okay. Excellent choice again, and that is definitely one of your favorites, so it definitely makes sense. And then
Wait, doesn't she get to go again?
Oh, you get to go again.
I go again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're
You get to go again.
Okay.
I'm getting too excited to choose, so it's your turn.
It's my
Laura,
turn again. Okay. So big surprise. Number 3 is "I'll Make a Man Out of You" from Mulan.
Yes.
I really wanted that one so bad. Oh, okay.
By Matthew Wilder and David Zippel, sung by Donny Osmond.
Hey.
Who did the singing for Shang. It is just an excellent song.
Correct.
It is so fun. It is so funny. It again, the animation that goes with it is great. It is such a motivating song. We used to play this. This was my college job. I worked for the admissions department, and every summer we would have to do some data mining, and we hated doing it. And we would do power hours to get through this data mining because we were also answering the phones. And you knew it was time for power hour to start because they would just turn on the speakers and play this song really loud. And that was like, it's power hour. Yes. Go. I joke, my little brother had a really intense soccer coach in junior high who told him and all of his teammates from the rich part of town that you're all soft and you're all spoiled and you're all, and it was my mom and I would laugh. We'd pick him up and be playing this song. We're Dom is Shang. He's gonna make a man out of you.
Yeah.
It's just, it's motivating. It's fun. It's funny. It's strong. It's a great song.
It's one of those songs that if you turn it on in a room full of millennials, everyone is forced to sing along.
Correct.
And we all believe we're Mulan in that moment, right? Or whoever, which of the guys you are, but we're yes, I will be swift as a raging fire. Yes, I will be this.
Oh man, so good. My interesting fact for that one was Jackie Chan voices and sings for Shang in Mandarin and Cantonese.
I knew that.
So I thought that was interesting.
That's very appropriate for him to be that role.
Donny Osmond, though. Hey,
he's amazing.
One of the reasons he got that was they felt so bad that they've had to pass him up for Hercules.
Yeah. Because he sounded too old. Yes.
Which is funny because Donnie's an eternal baby, but
It's true. It's true. Wow. Okay, that was that was the choice of the century. Good job.
Thanks.
In that case, I am going to my first of the romance songs, "I See the Light" from Tangled.
Nice.
Because Tangled is one of my favorite films ever. And "I See the Light," it would be the favorite of the many amazing songs in that film. So Alan Menken and Glenn Slater. And it is not only just a gorgeous piece of music, but it was astounding as an animation feat of the time. And we've talked about this on the show before, but just the entire lantern scene is amazing and still amazing, and how many individual little pieces that are in that is mind-blowing to me, and I love it, and it's beautiful. And of course, in high school I sang it like every other person for whatever concert you choose your thing. But I just love it.
It is a gorgeous song. I love that. That's one of the best scenes in the movie.
And you get to listen to Zachary Levi sing. So.
Zachary Levi.
So there.
Yeah. There it is.
There it is.
Well, you took Colors of the Wind.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm okay with it because obviously the song had to end up in my list, Part of Your World.
Yes.
From The Little Mermaid.
I knew it.
It had to go to me.
Yeah.
If it was going to go to anyone else. Obviously, you can go listen to the Little Mermaid episode if you want to hear all about my feelings about the Little Mermaid. Because I love the Little Mermaid. It's still my favorite Disney princess movie, and I am a staunch defender. And we won't get into that right now. And I really enjoyed the new movie much more than I thought I was going to. I thought it was going to be well, it's not the original, but I did really enjoy it. And I thought some of the new music was really fun. So Part of Your World, obviously written by Alan Menken and Howard Ashman, performed by Jodie Benson or Halle Bailey, depending on the version that you watch.
Yeah.
And I think we probably talked about this in the podcast before, but my fun fact was that it was almost cut from the film because they thought kids would find it too boring, and Howard Ashman fought tooth and nail to keep it in, and he was correct.
Yes.
And
Very
it's
correct.
an iconic moment in the film, and I'm so glad that it's a part of it.
I mean, I think it's arguably like the biggest legacy song that Disney has ever
Correct.
created. Like it,
That's
not
true.
only did The Little Mermaid change everything, part of your world changed everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the fact that he had the foresight to say no, children they do understand this and they will sit here. Like it took children seriously, which is one of the reasons that Disney Renaissance was so successful, is because it was like children aren't stupid little things that we just put bouncing mice in front of.
Yeah.
Like they can deal with emotion and, all the stuff that can go into that. And also we can make movies that adults like watching. Like we don't have to just make movies that are focused on kids.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone will like them. And it's the reason that I think Disney is the powerhouse that it is today, is like that decision to leave that in and trust their audience to like it. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. Oof. Oof.
So that's my number 3 pick. And then my number 4 pick, we're picking a villain song.
A villain song? Which one?
And I chose what is actually, the more that I think about it, my favorite villain song.
Oh.
And I've chosen the Mob song from Beauty and the Beast.
Wow. Unexpected twist.
I think that it's kind of I feel like, you think about Beauty and the Beast, you think about Gaston, and you're like, villain songs, you think about Gaston. But it's actually, I feel like it's kind of an underrated song.
Yeah.
1, it's just like constructed so well. 2, it really moves me because of like real world connections and connotations within it. It's not really a fun fact because it's not fun, but Howard Ashman, as he was writing the lyrics for it, it was really a metaphor for the AIDS crisis that was happening in the, at that time, late 80s, early 90s, while he was battling the disease. And I just think if you, just listening to the lyrics of that song, it's really powerful, and it's, I think it's something that kind of takes you, when you really listen, it kind of takes you aback and makes you kind of think a little harder about, why do we label people as heroes versus villains, or good versus bad, or what have you? Like, is it just because we don't understand them, so that scares us? That lyric is always a thing that really like pops up in my mind, is we don't like what we don't understand. In fact, it scares us. And I think that really like kind of sums up a lot about human nature, and it just hits it right on the head, and I think it's a great song.
Yeah.
So that's my number 4 pick, is the Mob song.
I love the Mob song. I love everything from Beauty and the Beast. One of my favorite things about the Mob song is that we get to hear the absolutely gorgeous high notes of the bass singing it.
Yes.
I'm an alto.
Richard White
means,
was the singer.
Richard
He
White
played Gaston.
I'm an alto, which means I love a bass. And I totally agree about the lyrics. I think one of the best things about the music in Beauty and the Beast, period, and Mob song is one of the best examples of that, is how rich the lyrics are. The music is so catchy that I think and the lyrics are so deep and so rich that I think most people, it would be like, the Mob song. They'd be like, to the mist, to the woods, da 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 da. They just know, and it's good and you like it. But when you actually sit down and like listen to how rich the lyric is and how many words are shoved into that song, and that there's this big meaning behind, it's like, oh, you're almost like subliminally, you don't understand, like that song is so good and I'm not even really absorbing the lyrics, but I'm hearing them and it's creating such a cool atmosphere. And that's true of so many of the songs in that movie.
So good. Yeah. Excellent. Love it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's your turn.
Well, since we cannot choose Disney music from stage musicals, I cannot talk about Proud of Your Boy, but I will still choose something from Aladdin, and that will be A Whole New World.
It's a little lower on my list, but that's okay.
It's amazing. It won an Academy Award, Golden Globe, Grammy Award. It's great. It is high flying fun.
Did you just say it's high flying fun?
I have a fun fact about it if you would like me to share.
I would love to hear your fun fact.
The stand-in title, while they were trying to construct, like, okay, which song is going to go where? We're going to have, like, a love song here. The stand-in title was The World at My Feet. But Tim Rice thought it was weird to have the word feet in the title of a love song in a kid's movie.
What?
So
Sure.
It became a whole new world instead. For the better.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, like, at what point? That was just the stand-in before they'd written it?
Yeah.
And they just said, I was like, how did you not know the song was the song you're singing? The world at your feet. Like, what? But I get it now. Never mind.
Excellent. Anyway, so how to snag that one? Laura.
My turn.
Go ahead.
I'm already repeating movies. For my number 4, because I had to skip Circle of Life. That was actually my number 4. I have Just Around the River Bend from Pocahontas.
Fantastic.
This is my only I Want song on my list. I've already told you guys why I love Pocahontas. I was trying to pick between Colors of the Wind and this one, and I'm like, just put them both on your list.
Just choose them both. Amazing.
I always loved her in the canoe. I loved all of the metaphors in that song.
Mm-hmm.
Out of all of the, like, I Want songs from the movies that I would watch when I was little, I think that not even really realizing it, like, that was the one that I related to the most. I have a funny story about this song that has nothing to do with the song itself.
Great.
That I'll tell everyone. So I loved that movie and I loved that song, and my dad would, like, take me out in the canoe and I'd sing it and pretend I was paddling.
Yes.
And so when my mom took me to Camp Snoopy, which is now Nickelodeon Universe, for those of you not from the great state of Minnesota, we have a giant mall in Minnesota called the Mall of America, and there's a theme park in the center of the mall. It was called Camp Snoopy when we were young. Mm-hmm. And there is a log ride at Camp Snoopy. It stars Paul Bunyan. It's horrifying. And my mom wanted to go on it, and she thought that we would have fun. And in we all got, and my mom kept telling me I was like Pocahontas. And you're like Pocahontas. And we went down the first hill, and I almost died. Like, I thought it was the worst day of my life. I was screaming. I was crying. Little did we know that was the small hill.
Oh, no.
And my mother tells me, don't worry, that was it. And then we got to the big hill, and she was holding on to me while I screamed bloody murder, going, "You're Pocahontas! You're Pocahontas!" As we descended the log chute.
Oh, no.
And I still haven't quite forgiven her. With the memory of my mother's voice in my ear going, "You're Pocahontas! You're Pocahontas!" Just lips forever. Because she thought I would think it was like going down the waterfall. No, I was Miko. You know how Miko's like on her head? I was Miko.
Yeah. Oh, your poor mother. And poor you.
Yeah. I love rides now, but
yeah. Oh, man. Traumatizing.
You get to go again.
I get to go again?
Yeah, what's next?
Oh, I have kind of an odd pick here. I have Oodalelli from Robin Hood.
I thought about that, but I didn't add it. How do you spell that?
O-O space D-E space L-A-L-L-Y. Performed and written by Roger Miller. The late, great country artist Roger Miller, who also voiced the chicken, the rooster, who's the narrator from the 1993 film. I absolutely love Robin Hood. I think it's just like a sleeper Disney movie from that period of time. Mm-hmm. It's such a fun setup narrative song. It just like... I feel like it was pretty unique for them to use a pretty popular artist to like write and sing a very like in his style song that was new. And you just go and you listen to it and you're just like, Yeah, it's great. It's telling a story. It's a great song.
Excellent. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about Robin Hood. I didn't watch it as much as a kid.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Why is an animated fox attractive?
Good question.
Excellent question.
But we all think it. We all know that animated fox is weirdly attractive.
Kind of true.
It's true.
Yeah, he's a charming little fox with no pants on. Yep. That's what I have to say about that.
Robin Hood, everyone. All right, y'all. I have one that is from arguably the best Disney animated film in the past decade, because every single song could be on this list, but this one takes the absolute cake, and it is Lost in the Wood from Frozen 2.
It's true.
Lost in the Woods.
You snagged that one real fast.
I needed it in my life. Laura, why are you so sad?
I just think that's a weird choice for a top 10 list.
Oh.
You do? It was on mine.
I hate that part of that movie. Go back and listen to our episode on Frozen 2. Okay. I hate the entire Kristoff narrative. Anyway, keep going.
But yes, I do remember our conversation about that. I lost my mind watching this song at the theater, and I still do, and I still listen to it so much, like dancing around my kitchen or whatever, singing along to Lost in the Woods. And it's just like the first Frozen film, poor Jonathan Groff didn't get anything, and then he gets this 1980s pop love ballad, and it's absolutely hilarious to me. It doesn't have to be to everyone. And Groff recorded at least 18 different vocal tracks for all of the Svens and everything.
That was also my fun.
I can't watch it without just dying of laughter. I think it's hilarious. I love this song so much. I just want to dance to it, and it is a fun time. And Frozen 2 in general is an awesome film.
It is very good.
I'm just surprised that not that I also laughed hysterically in the theater when this came up. It was funny. It was fun. I just think that of the two Frozen films, the fact that that's the one that's highest on your list, I'm like, okay.
Let it go. It's fine. Show yourself awesome. Lost in the Woods, though. That is the hill I'm standing on and dying for. Okay. All right, Kate. What's next? After that detour.
My next pick is from a movie I have not chosen yet. It is a banger, and I think that it's a little underrated, at least in my opinion. I have chosen Zero to Hero from Hercules.
Yes.
No, it's on my list. No.
Because, like, when else are you going to get a better girl group than the Muses singing Zero to Hero?
Yeah.
My fun fact about the song is that the Spice Girls were originally approached to be the Muses. Can you imagine what a different film that would be?
Yes.
I wish you could see my face now, people of Fanimated.
She's more confused than she was
shade
about.
to the Spice Girls. You know, all of us who, you know, grew up in the 90s love some Spice Girls, but thankfully they had scheduling conflicts.
They just, like, the music would not have been as gospel-y as it is if they hadn't have had all the gospel.
It would have been very different.
Oh my god, I love Zero to Hero.
Me too, that's why it's on my list.
Much. With, like, just the way that song progresses oh my god, and just the words are hilarious. Mm-hmm. The words are so funny, and we get to the end and we just get to, like, it's time to clap and praise the Lord.
Yeah.
Right? Who put the glad right here? I mean, it's just, it's so good. Oh, it's such a good song.
So that's my number 5 choice? Yes. My number 6 is Friend Like Me from Aladdin.
Yes.
And I just love that song so much. I love a good genie moment. Robin Williams is the best. He apparently made fun of himself in some interviews because he didn't think that he could sing. But it's like, no, nobody listen to yourself. You can sing. And it's great. And I love that song, so that's why it's on my list. I don't really have any other explanation. Other than that, it's a fun song. And one of the better Sidekick songs for sure.
This is very random, but I appreciate where it is keyed because I think that it is keyed a way that a lot of people can sing along with it.
Oh,
and it just adds to the, like, everyone loves this song. Everyone can sing along to this song.
Yeah.
The animation was so great. Great song.
Well, for my next song, I am going a little bit more off the beaten track to another song that is not sung by a character. This is I'm Still Here, or Jim's theme from Treasure Planet.
I didn't even think about Treasure Planet. That's a good one.
Thank you. This is actually even higher on my list, but I saved it for later because I didn't think it would get stolen.
Yeah.
Because it is one of those songs that, like, I've been listening to since I've had an MP3 player. You know?
Back in 2005.
Yeah.
Hey, I was in high school in 2005. Be nice. We had iPods then, not MP3 players.
Well, anyway, so...
Not in Pella.
Not in Pella. It's fine. That's what I had. And I love it, of course. In the movie, if you haven't seen Treasure Planet, that's when you get all of Jim's backstory, his sad backstory, where his father leaves him. And also, I like father-son stories, so it's right up my alley.
I've never seen Treasure Planet.
Wow. I have it right there.
It's so good.
We'll have to have a movie
love
night.
that movie.
I think he does love that movie. And
Has he seen it?
I'm pretty sure he has.
Hasn't. I feel like we've had a conversation where he's like, I've never seen it. And I'm like, how dare you?
I don't know. He's too busy watching Short Circuit 2 over and over. That's not fair, you guys. I caught him watching it once. I will never
And you've never let him live down.
Excellent. Okay, so that's it. I'm Still Here, special to me, and I love it. And we are going to remedy you having never seen Treasure Planet.
Yes.
That's a problem.
My turn?
Go ahead.
Number 7 is He's a Tramp from Lady and the
Yes.
Tramp by Sonny Burke and Peggy Lee, performed by Peggy Lee and the Pound Dogs from the 1955 film Lady and the Tramp. Lady and the Tramp, we didn't have that one when I was little. I saw it when I was... They played it on, like, Wonderful World of Disney when I was in, like, middle school. We didn't have cable, so you just watched Wonderful... Like, you watched it with your family before, bedtime on Sunday night when you were in middle school. And I was just old enough that it was like, what's this song? This little dog is kind of sexy, right? Like, it just is, it's such a good song. It's so, like, the dog even looks a little bit like Peggy Lee. There's a lot of great music in Lady and the Tramp. It was actually hard for me to pick something. Mm-hmm. But I just think that, especially since it was a Disney movie in the 50s, and it had this very sexy number in it, right?
Yeah.
Peggy Lee was not known as, like, a family entertainer, right? Mm-hmm. It's just really well written and jazzy and really well sultry, really well placed in the film, and it's one of my favorites. I have the music, I have the sheet music, and I've sung it in studio forever since I was in high school, so it's a great song.
Oh, love it. You get to go again.
I get to go again. Well, I have to skip Zero to Hero.
Sorry.
So my next one is I Want to Be Like You from the Jungle Book.
Yes.
I knew that was
classic.
That is another Sherman Brothers, performed by the one, the only Louis Prima. The genius Louis Prima, who is a band leader. If you ever get a chance to watch Louis Prima and his orchestra, look it up on YouTube, perform this number. They get up, the entire orchestra stands up, and they parade around the audience playing their instruments like Louisiana parade style. It's just, to be fair, I've been listening to it nonstop because my daughter is currently obsessed with the songs from the Jungle Book, and she absolutely loves this song. And it is one that I do not mind having her play on repeat because it is so good, like musically and performance-wise. Just, I mean, it's Louis Prima. You could listen to him all day, every day. He's so good. I understand that it's one of the now more problematic parts of that movie, but the song slaps and it's Louis Prima, so there you go.
Yeah, excellent. Fantastic. Yeah. All these good classics.
I went way more classic than modern. Yeah.
I'm loving that, though. I love to see how the three of us have, different things come to mind, and we're grabbing different stuff. So it may be another surprise for my next choice. From the film that the Disney film I probably watched the most of growing up, which is Lion King 2, Simba's Pride. And I'm choosing We Are One.
Oh, cute.
Because that's like the opening number of Lion King 2, and it's just really sweet and wholesome, and it brings me back. It brings me back to being a little kid that wants to crawl around on the floor and pretend to be a lion. Because that's all I did with my life. And it's just a very sweet film, and I watch it back now and I'm like, oh, it's mediocre, but back then it was great, and I still love the music. So We Are One is definitely on my list.
So many of the straight to video 2s, right, that we were loved as children, when you rewatch them, you're like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like Pocahontas 2 is like, oh no.
Pocahontas 2 has some good music, though.
Yeah.
As does Lion King 2.
Lion King 2,
Little Mermaid 2,
Mm-hmm.
oh no. But
Oh, I loved Little Mermaid 2.
yeah, and now I watch it and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's Little Mermaid reverse.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
They didn't do anything too new there.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Well, there we go. Kate, what do you got for us?
So I have chosen my first duet. I have chosen Love is an Open Door from Frozen.
Fantastic.
A banger. Kind of almost like Donnie and Marie, kind of. My fun fact is that it's the first duet between a Disney princess and a villain, but we don't know that he's the villain at that point.
Oh, true. I never thought about that before.
But yes, that is my for no other reason other than it's just a fun song.
Good.
It's just a good song.
Can I ask, can you think of a song since that's been like a hero and a villain? I can't think of any.
Are you genuinely asking, or?
No, I'm genuinely asking
okay.
because I was like, oh, that's the first time it's been the villain and the princess or a hero, and I'm like, have there been any others?
I guess that she doesn't sing in it. I mean, they've been in. Never mind. It's not a duet.
What's the most recent one?
Mother Knows Best is not a duet, but that to me, I'm like, they're both in that.
They're both
one.
in the song, but so is like Ursula, and you know what I mean, like with that one.
The Little Mermaid.
What is that movie called?
I'm like, what are you blanking on?
No, what's the song? The song Ursula.
Poor Unfortunate Souls.
Thank you. That is what was slipping my mind.
They don't sing together.
Exactly. Just like with Mother
She just
Knows
goes,
Best.
To be fair, also, like, I have, as an adult who's really good at predicting twists in movies and shows, like, if you guys have watched, you know that I can usually, like, see what's going to go down. The reason that there probably aren't lots of other, princess villain duets is because that was just one of the best hidden twists in a movie ever. For sure. I was in the theater and I was living in Chicago, and like when he's like, someone would love you, I was just like, what? It was so. I was also super depressed because I was like, look, a redheaded prince named Hans. My redheaded boyfriend's last name is Hansen. It's him. We can be them for Halloween. I was already planning, and then he was the bad guy.
I mean,
and
it would still be the still do it for Halloween.
I know, but we were just cute and dating then.
Yeah.
Like,
you're old and married.
Wanted to have like cute costumes,
Not like
old people costumes.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. Love it
and then
as an open door. Still
my
great.
next one, for the sake of not repeating, I'm not going to go with my number one choice. I'm going to switch it up.
Whoa.
And I'm going to choose Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo
Oh!
as my next one.
I love that.
Because it's so fun and, like, iconic. And I
Yes.
just love Cinderella.
Yes.
It's one of my favorites and continues to be.
Good.
And the Fairy Godmother is so fun.
I was hoping you'd have something on the list from Cinderella because that was the first Disney recording you guys did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Episode
that's
4 of Fanimated.
It was the first Disney movie I received as a kid. I was like 3 years old, and there's video footage of me running around being like, I got Cinderella! And then I got the new movie for Christmas, and my mom's like, do the thing! And I was like, no. No, thank you.
I would have done it. I mean, you get to watch What's-His-Face in those tight little pants for 2 hours.
gosh.
I would have run around excited about getting that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Richard Madden in tight little wet pants.
Oh.
So those are my 2.
I am debating which one to grab next. And I'm going to go with another Lion King, but from the original Can You Feel the Love Tonight? This was also a challenge to choose which of the Lion King songs to choose. But since Circle of Life has already been taken, I'm going with Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Won an Academy Award and Grammy Award. Elton John, Tim Rice, doing good stuff. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's another just like, that's... The Lion King is full of staple songs. What am I saying? I mean...
Every single one is
Every single one.
like
Hakuna
unbelievable.
Matata.
Yeah.
I mean, Lions and Love's like a little weird now as an adult, right? But like,
Yeah. Oh yeah, but
you know,
still, it's a good song.
yeah,
Yeah. So that's
a great song. And the intro and the outro are iconic.
Yes, with Timon and Pumbaa. So good.
Yes.
So good. I can see what's happening. And
They don't have
They don't have a
a
clue.
clue. Okay. So, how many more do we pick?
3 more?
3 more?
8,
Okay.
9, 10.
So, my next one is actually, I think, my only, like, super modern pick. Or, like, current era pick. And it's not really a full song, but it is technically a song. It is on the soundtrack.
Okay.
And it's Know Who You Are from Moana.
Oh,
love that
That little bit where after she realizes that Taka is Te Fiti. And it makes me cry every single time I see it. It is such a beautiful moment. The music is so beautiful. You know, I think that it's such an important message. It just, like, it's so beautiful. The soundtrack cuts off before she whispers, who you truly are. And it makes me really mad because it's spoken instead of sung. And whenever it comes up on my shuffle, I just, like, have to pause and be like, who you truly are. And then we can go forward. But I just, Moana is full of just a lot of really unbelievable music. I think it was, you know, it was that same magic that I think The Lion King had, where you had a really successful, more poppy artist with a really, really unbelievable artist from the traditional culture that the movie was set in or representing. And it just created, like, music magic in that film.
Truly.
And that little tiny part is my favorite little bit.
Excellent choice.
Okay. So my next one then is my Lion King pick.
Ooh.
So Circle of Life was on my list and I had to skip that one.
Sorry.
So I'm surprised we've gotten this far without someone picking Be Prepared.
Yes.
Because, I mean, if we're going to talk about villain songs, like, Be Prepared is just, it's
Top.
so good. It's so good. It's so evil. It's animated so well. It was so scary, you know?
Yeah.
It's a scary part of the film. But it's also, like, Disney does a really good job of making their villains a little sexy. You know, like even if they're not even physically, like their music's always good. You know, like Ursula's got some sexy music, right? Like Poor Unfortunate Souls is great, but Be Prepared is like ooh, and it never became more evident than when, shout out to Dr. Abby Solom. If you ever have, bowel surgery in Boston, she might be the one performing it on you. But she sang a broken down jazzy version of this at my birthday cabaret when I turned 30, and it just made me love it even more. It's such a good song.
So good. Excellent.
Hi, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Shout out to you.
We're getting down to the last, and it's so hard because there's so many, but I'm gonna keep on keeping on with the list I already chose, and go with another Lin-Manuel Miranda. We don't talk about Bruno from Encanto.
Of course, it had to end up on here somewhere.
I know. I had to choose it. It has been on repeat many a time, and I still don't get sick of it. I mean, everyone knows we don't talk about Bruno. It was an internet sensation. And what's interesting is that I watched Encanto in theaters, and I was like, that was okay. And then later, like, I watched it again, because, like, it didn't become popular until it was available on streaming, because that was a time when people were still not really going to the theater much. And even now, I feel like that's just the way things are. It's like, once it's on streaming, then it's really out,
Especially if it's a family film and people can watch it like in the comfort of their home with their kids. And
yeah, exactly. And then it just, this song just totally took off. And what I found interesting about this song, the little tidbit, there are many, but Disney didn't even like submit it for an Academy Award because they assumed it wasn't anything big. Like, it was just one of the songs in the movie. And so, like, it wasn't even, part of the nominations at all. Which I think is hilarious, but
they still performed it at the Academy.
Yeah, they still performed it because that was the song.
Sensation, yeah.
Oh, so funny. Interesting tidbit is everyone sings the same chord progression with a different rhythm and different cadence to represent the different family members, which I think is super cool. I love the end when all of those pieces come together and they're all singing the same, their little things at the same time. And I'm just like, this is fantastic. I love this. And it's like, it just feels so different than any other really popular Disney song. It's not an I Want song. It's not a romantic duet. It's like this it's a big ensemble number that becomes like this big sensation, which is so cool. I mean, it's like, I'm trying to think what exactly the stats are, but it's like Disney's #1 song like ever. One of their biggest successes in history. And it's still a bop, and I love it. And Encanto is great.
I love Encanto.
Yeah.
Still haven't watched it.
Okay, we definitely need a movie night.
You need to watch it.
Daphne will get there soon.
Yeah.
She's getting to the age where she's like, we watch like quarters of films. Like she's seen all of Moana in like quarter increments. So maybe we'll watch Encanto soon.
Yeah. I don't think they're too many scary things.
As someone who has a sister, you will cry.
I think I even mentioned this at some point when I first was reviewing Encanto, but like it really is a film that is very family friendly, and like the stakes don't feel incredible. Like stakes are high, but more in an interpersonal relationship way instead of this is scary.
Yeah.
Like physically scary kind of way. And the scary things turn silly really fast. So in that way, I think it is very family appropriate.
Yeah.
Nice.
I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get my last 2 picks.
What are you going to choose?
So I have one thing on my list, but I'm going to choose something else that I have as a backup because I kind of thought that it would be taken and my mind has been changed. So for my number 9, I am going to do You've Got a Friend in Me from Toy Story.
Yes.
I just think that's like the iconic song. It's been in every single Toy Story movie, and I won't talk about Toy Story 4 because it makes me livid. But, yeah, I just think it's a great song, and gotta get some classic Randy Newman in there, so. That's my number 9.
Can't
and
argue.
then for my number 10, because I created this as like a strategy for myself. I wanted to have like a flow to it as if I was creating a playlist. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, what song really would tie everything up together in a beautiful bow?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think there's anything that would like put the period on the sentence better than When You Wish Upon a Star from Pinocchio.
Excellent.
So that's my last pick.
classic.
And I'm not gonna lie, some of the classic Disney movies, when I listen to recordings of them, there's that, like recordings from like the 20s and 30s and 40s always have that kind of tinny quality to it.
Mm-hmm.
It really, there was something in that recording quality that really like brings out a feeling of like dread.
Oh, wow.
So I don't listen to that song very much because for some reason, psychologically, it just like brings out like this like odd feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love that song.
And
It's
the
like the
performance
Disney
from like
song.
the countertenor that's
Yeah.
like screaming it up there,
Yeah.
like all high and everything. It's Jiminy Cricket. Who doesn't love Jiminy
Yeah.
Cricket?
It's the Disney song. It's
It
what
is.
they use for
Yeah.
everything. So
Jiminy Cricket is really the only redeeming thing about Pinocchio. When you go back and watch it as an
It's
adult, you're
so
like,
true.
but I guess Jiminy Cricket is great.
Ooh.
This film's terrifying. God, I watched that a lot when I was little. My brother liked the whale. He loved Monstro. Dan was really into whales, and so we would watch it over and over and
watch
over.
Free
And
Willy.
I wonder, we didn't have Free Willy.
Oh.
No.
Well, that was the other option.
My dad also wasn't, Free Willy's got kind of a mixed message when it comes to certain things.
Sure.
interesting.
So, he was like, yep,
I
Monstro
don't
it
think
is.
I've watched
Great.
Free Willy since I was little.
I certainly have not either.
Anyway.
Pinocchio. Watch the Del Toro one instead. I am distraught for my last choice because there's so many left that we won't be able to get to. But I think I'm going to actually jump past a few and go to another Randy Newman. Toy Story 2's When She Loved Me.
Oh, heartbreaking.
I have that on my list too, but it's low, but I'm glad you picked it.
Oh, good. Because I don't even think I need to explain it much. Like, it's one of the saddest scenes in Pixar history. And it just tugs at my little heartstrings.
It created an entire generation of toy hoarders.
Yes. True. Yes. Oh, my
We've
goodness.
all got boxes of dolls in our parents' basement
do.
because
I
they'll
do.
cry if we give them away.
Exactly.
They'll come to life and hate us for the rest of their lives.
Yes. My little Samantha doll, still in a box
Yes,
somewhere.
all of my American Girl dolls.
I have all my Barbies still.
Oh my goodness,
every
still?
single one.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, that's awesome.
All 57 of them.
Wow.
You had 57 Barbies?
I loved Barbies.
I only played with like 5 of them.
Oh my god. It was very in-depth play.
I chopped off my Ariel Barbie's hair. That's a different story.
I did not like girls like you. You were not allowed to destroy
I
Barbies.
also
Everything was very well taken
cut
care of.
Samantha's hair, and my mom sent her to the toy hospital.
I trimmed Samantha's
For my
hair because it was
birthday to
getting
get a new
grody.
head.
But it's still long and beautiful.
So
You people.
wait until your daughter does it.
All of my Barbies went back to bed in their original clothes when we were done playing. Laid very nicely in a specific order.
I took Samantha out sledding with me, and in the
Was she a real American Girl doll?
Yeah.
Or was she a
Yes.
fake one?
No, she was a real one.
And your mom let you take her sledding?
Yes, into the mud and muck. Her arm,
I never got my
her
American
arm
Girl
is like
dolls.
out of her socket. at
Oh,
this
my Samantha doll, her leg is out of her socket. And
Yeah.
I just keep tights on her permanently.
My
now,
mom
so that
refused
doesn't-
to buy me a real one. She bought me the fake one from Target and was like, look, it's Addie. Because she was, and I still had to take excellent care of that doll. Oh my goodness. I'm shooketh.
point.
Anyway.
Well, yeah. It was my Samantha doll. Anyway, I love her. I love my dolls. I love my toys. It's fine.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I have to pick. I have 2 on this list.
Yeah.
I have a it deserves to be on a list, and I have a it's here for no purpose other than it confuses people that Laura loves this movie. Which one do you guys want? Music or movie love? Or just both?
If you can...
I've only got 2
I know.
more.
If you can't listen to one of them, you know what I mean? Like, choose the one. It's like, if you had to choose one that you would listen to, what would that one be instead of the one you know what I mean? If you could only choose to one... Am I explaining that right? You can only listen to one of them.
The one that I would listen to, or the one that... Okay, but there's one that I would listen to, and there's one that needs to be mentioned in the world of Disney music. But it's fine. I will do the one that I want to listen to.
You seem disappointed by that answer.
It's just really hard to pick between these 2. Okay.
I think you should do the one that I assume is from the movie that we meant to talk about and have not talked about.
Yeah.
You should do that
Okay.
one.
Yes. That's
Yeah,
my
you
way to
should.
tie this in.
You
So
should.
my last pick is I Know You from Sleeping Beauty.
Yep. I had that. That's the one I just skipped to talk about when she left me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm glad you talked about it.
Yay.
Okay.
And it's funny because that's not the one, but anyway, I had that one lower on my list. So
Yeah.
I Know You from Sleeping Beauty. I love Sleeping Beauty. Why does feminist Laura love Sleeping Beauty? We don't know.
It's a mystery.
It's a conundrum. I love Prince Philip. He's the best of the princes. I don't need feelings. I don't need any of your manly feelings. I need your tight little pants and your tenor voice and your little sword fighting dragon self. That's what I need in a Disney prince, okay? And that's what Prince Philip is. And he opens his little, 1940s mouth, and his perfect tenor comes out, and he sings that song at her. And it's so beautiful when they waltz through the woods, and I could just... It's so good, you guys. It's so good. You know what? Feminism has no rules.
It doesn't.
I mean, again, we established that Kristoff's story is kind of janky, but I still love Lost in the Woods.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Also, that song was based on a song from the 1890 ballet, The Sleeping Beauty.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's my little fun fact.
A lot of the melodies are pulled from that ballet from Tchaikovsky.
Yeah.
So.
It's very
I
cool.
didn't know that. I just know every time I hear that beautiful tenor going, I'm like, So many of the princes didn't sing when we were younger.
Yeah.
He kind of lived in that, and I just love that he, sang to her. I guess I thought that it was really romantic, and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Now that I think about it, you're right. The princes
Eric
did not
doesn't sing.
Eric
Beast
does not
doesn't sing.
They do not sing.
He does.
A little bit. That
He
one
sings
song.
in Something There.
Yeah.
A tiny bit.
A tiny bit.
But he's also still an ugly beast. So, who's paying
I
attention?
don't think he's very cute when he turns into a human.
Oh, my
That's a
mom.
different story.
You talked to my mom about that. She was in the theater with us, what? What are we watching? She gets really mad when he's suddenly short in the final scene.
He's not 7 feet tall.
Yeah, have you ever noticed that? When he turns into a man,
turns
he's
into
like,
a man
oh, I'm
in human
gorgeous.
size.
And then for some reason at the very end, at the dance party, he's 4 feet tall. He's
I
the
have
same
never
size as
noticed
Belle.
that.
And my mom's like, what's that? Anyway.
Anyways, yes. I'm glad you added some Sleeping Beauty into this. We needed that.
Yes.
Yes. Did you do 10?
Yeah, she's got time.
Supposedly.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Let's go through our lists here. Kate, do you want to run through yours?
Yes. So my list was Circle of Life from The Lion King, Stranger Like Me from Tarzan, Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid, The Mob Song from Beauty and the Beast, Zero to Hero from Hercules, Friend Like Me from Aladdin, Love is an Open Door from Frozen, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo from Cinderella, You've Got a Friend in Me from Toy Story, and When You Wish Upon a Star from Pinocchio.
Oh, so good. I had Out There from Hunchback of Notre Dame, Go the Distance from Hercules, I See the Light from Tangled, I'm Still Here from Treasure Planet, A Whole New World from Aladdin, We Are One from Lion King 2, Lost in the Woods from Frozen 2. We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto. And Can You Feel the Love Tonight? The Lion King. Oh, last one, When She Loved Me, Toy Story 2. Lots of sequels in mine.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that till just now.
And no super classic
classics.
Disney.
I didn't go classic at all.
Interesting.
It is interesting where we all went. I did not go back very far.
So my list is Sister Suffragette from Mary Poppins, Colors of the Wind from Pocahontas, I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan, Just Around the River Bend from Pocahontas, Oodalali from Robin Hood, He's a Tramp from Lady and the Tramp, I Want to Be Like You from The Jungle Book, Know Who You Are from Moana, Be Prepared from The Lion King, and I Know You from Sleeping Beauty.
Fantastic.
I was for sure certain that you were going to choose the bottle song from Rescuers. I don't know what it's called. It's the Carpenter song.
I thought about it, but that's not one. To me, that's a movie that like the music does not define that movie, and so
that's fair.
It also like when you were little and the boring credits would roll with the slow song, it was like, oh, fast forward. I want to start that.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I still fast forward
all of,
through all the opening credits.
Songs, like in Cinderella.
Boring. No, I would
I skip them.
Yeah,
Coral.
skip it.
Oh,
skip it.
Coral girly through and through. Can I share one of my favorite fun facts?
Yeah.
From a song that was on my list, but I did not pick it. So on my list was Beauty and the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. And the fun fact, where did it go? The fun fact that I have about it. Oh my gosh, hold on.
Kate is paging through her 18-page dissertation about this.
My favorite fun fact that I read about it was they could not afford to hire a big singer to do the pop version of the song, so they got Celine Dion, who then her career was launched into superstardom because of Beauty and the Beast.
Wow.
And Eurovision.
That is really excellent. I do like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
That just made me laugh.
Celine Dion came up twice in this conversation.
Yeah. Because she's Celine Dion.
Yeah, that's true.
She is Celine Dion. She is the best singer in the world.
I didn't read my fun fact about When You Wish Upon a Star.
Oh.
Just to piggyback off of your guess what other song.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the first, When You Wish Upon a Star was the first Disney film to win a Best Original Song Oscar.
Oh.
That was in 1940. What song won the year before?
1939.
In 1939.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow?
Yep. Iconic.
Love that.
I have to tell you guys the song that I jettisoned.
What did you jettison?
Cruella de Vil.
I did not add that on my list.
But we talked extensively about that song in our 101 Dalmatians episode and how good it is. So
go back and listen to that because we gave it its fair time. I also had How Far I'll Go from Moana that I was considering.
I had Into the Unknown that I was going to put.
I really like Remember Me from Coco too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I Won't Say I'm in Love was also on my list.
Oh,
but
good.
I had her too.
There are just so many.
So many good ones.
So I'm sure that listeners, we have failed to mention your favorite song, and I apologize. Even though we talked about 30 plus songs, this is just what happens. There are so many good ones. So let us know where we went wrong.
If you are listening to this and want to engage, I think all three of us will promise to check the Instagram post when this episode is posted. So be sure to post your comments on Instagram, and we will be happy to chat with you about your favorite.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, tell us whose list is like your favorite, or
who's the best list?
You know, if someone had your favorite song on their list.
Yeah.
Mine's the best one.
I think mine's the best, but
you did get I'll Make a Man of You
and Sister Suffragette,
but I've got Lost in the Woods.
Oh dear.
This has been a true pleasure. It's been wonderful to have both of you on the show.
Yeah. For
so long, and just chatting and geeking out about Disney movies is just fantastic. And we will of course still have these conversations, but they will not be recorded.
No.
For prosperity. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us and giving us such a fun 5 years of sharing.
Aww. You're very welcome.
It has been just as much fun for us to talk about this with you as it has, obviously the point of your podcast was to geek out about all of your favorite animated shows. And it's been like, as much as this was your kind of personal passion project, it's been just as much fun for us. So.
Oh, good.
If you're looking for a fun time, go back and listen to our first episode on Aladdin. That's the one where the three of us were together, and it was so formal and so structured.
Yeah.
And so, like, don't accidentally swear. Everything has to be very put together. There were outlines. There were thoughts. There was research. And then we all got comfortable and COVID happened and things just got fast and loose and hilarious.
Yes.
So
we just kind of winged it from here.
It got a little wild. Yeah. So if you enjoy our Disney episodes, go back and listen to that first one and then listen to some of the latest ones. It'll give you a laugh.
Oh, yeah. And that's Aladdin is episode 21. So check that out.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I started this podcast in 2018.
That doesn't feel like that long ago.
It was a long time. It was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
How did this happen? I don't know, but I'm glad it happened with you too.
Oh, thanks, Kelly.
Yeah. And of course, thank you all for listening. And remember to go to the Fanimated YouTube channel. You can just search at Fanimated Podcast, and it'll be right there. Same logo and everything. The music is written by Jamie Krause. The music for this podcast that you're listening to right now, not any of the music we just talked about. And the artist done by myself. You can continue to find me on Instagram at CandorDraw to, hear any other creative things that I'm working on. And yeah, this has just been a blast. And thank you for joining me. And as always,
stay tuned
and stay animated. You're gonna have to delete all of this. My mother is currently very when people wear pants and don't wear pants is still just all over the place in children's media. She's like, Daniel Tiger wears no pants but goes swimming with swim trunks on. Like, I don't. He's also like, how come Daniel Tiger has to wear no pants but his mother has pants? You would think, anthropomorphically it would be the other way around. If someone wasn't gonna wear pants, it would be the girl.
Oh my god.
Anyway, you can delete that part.
I love it. Put it on the tag.
I love it too.
Do I go again?